who swallowed like you. Why do you remember it persists? My only hope is the vision I see. Can you carry the weight of a god? Does your pain blind you? Can you embrace the fire inside? I am the war god. Whoa! I am the war god. Whoa! Whoa! This way, boy. Prince of chaos, cries on the dead, screams of the damned. Silence and voices in the air. A blessing and a curse. I walk this world immortal. It's something outside. All for God. All for God. Eternal.
And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luke O'Blaze on The Metal Experience.
Woo! First show of the year. Let's make this a complete disaster. You
Yeah,
ready?
boy.
You guys ready? All right, we just heard some War God by Dire Atrophy that features John Galloway, former vocalist of Rings of Saturn and current vocalist of Zahornort.
Exonerate.
No, that's Zahornort. And then we heard the band Becoming the Lion rally at the battle.
Which is their first single and also features the old host of the Metal Experience, Dennis, on drums.
Really, Denny?
Yeah, Dennis hit me up saying, hey, we just recorded a song. We have an album coming out. So shout out to Dennis. Thanks for keeping in touch all this time.
Hell yeah. Well, fuck yeah, we have on with us the first show of the year.
Finally, after how long?
After a little bit of a hiatus.
You broke our tradition,
Yeah.
Joe, and you made us so sad.
I still cry. Joe,
So
come on.
this is the 5th time that you've
You
been
cried
on.
more than
I
once.
cry
Okay.
more than once.
So let's go
Twice.
back in the past.
Wait. Mechina.
Mechina.
For their 5th time.
Mechina. So this is a coincidence. January 8th of 2013 was your first appearance. Today is January 8th of 2019.
Damn.
You realize that's 6 years later?
2013.
What the fuck? 2013, Joe.
That was the first time.
And then you came back January 14th of 2014. And then again January 6th of 2015.
Is this a guilt trip?
And then and then the fourth time was January 5th of 2016. And now 3 years later you're back. What the fuck happened between those 3 years? We had an ongoing thing where you were the first show of the year every single
I
time.
handed you something that was.
I know.
Yeah,
And
that would dictate
that makes up
life.
for 3 years of you letting us down.
Wow. Wow.
It's fair.
I don't feel that way. That's just so.
I
It's
mean,
fair.
it's just epic. When you know Mechina is going to open up every single show of the year, and then it was like, where's Joe? He's not here. Damn it.
Where's Mechina?
But thank you. This is very exciting. We're going to keep tradition alive now, right? There's another album coming out next year.
It's in a few months.
So 2020, you'll be back here, the first show of the year, and we're going to continue the tradition.
Fine.
Thank you.
He's like, we'll see how
Thank
tonight
you.
goes. And
Yeah,
then we'll-
yeah.
This is going on my calendar. Hold on.
Oh, she's gonna schedule
Gonna mark
The
it
first show,
she's gonna-
January 7th of 2020. You heard it here first. Mechina. We'll be back
with
on.
an asterisk of disappointment.
Okay. I'm going to remember that. I'm literally going to type that on my calendar.
She's literally making the
Asterisks.
Facebook event right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Disappointment. Well, I don't have internet right now, but I put January 7th, Mechina, disappointment, first show of 2020.
It sounds right.
Perfect. Well, welcome
Yeah.
back, guys. And we've got a few new faces, both in the crowd and with us tonight. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves for the world to hear. Mechina, who's on with us tonight?
David.
Oh, hi. I'm Dave Holch, the vocalist of Mechina.
Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Dave.
Hi.
I'm Joe Taberry, dude of Mechina.
Dude of Mechina.
He is dude, man, bro.
Dude, man, bro, back it up.
I am Melissa Rosenberg. I also go by Melrose, and I am also a vocalist for Mechina.
Heyo.
Woo! And this is the first appearance of the full ensemble of the voices behind Mechina. Very exciting stuff. What a way to start the year. Well, let's kick things off. You guys came prepared tonight with an awesome masterpiece. The box set of Mechina. I have in my hands all, so far, 6 albums that Mechina has done. Not labeled for me to figure out what is what. But it's okay because it's just an epic movie soundtrack in my head every time I hear it. So let's go into discussing what went behind the box set and creating what I'm holding now.
Well, the we talked about doing a box set years ago, and it never culminated. I think the fact that we did an album every year, there was no time to consolidate previous material, and
it lined up perfectly this time around, and it was an even number of 6 albums, and we started in May of 2017. No. What? When did we start?
Wait, where am I?
Officially, or
No, we released it in. Yeah. No, I was right.
yeah, I'm like, it feels
all,
right.
It's all very blurry, but we spent almost 12 straight months on that, and pretty much we had the first 2 albums on that because we did in chronological order of the albums that were released. So our 2011 release, our 2013 release, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and the first 2 albums that we did, we didn't have those sessions anymore, so we had to re-record those entire albums again. And
What?
yeah, like back then it was like lost on hard drives and half-assed and shit. So we kept it as close as we could to the original music, just with updated
shit.
production. So we had to write we had to re-record 2 albums plus, what would it be? Systematically make 6 albums, almost one song.
Right.
And
That is insane.
that's why it took 12 months to do. So that's what the box set came out to be, and I'm glad it's done. I think everyone's glad it's done. Yeah.
A lot of bands have trouble recording like an EP in a year, and you did that. We recorded 2 albums. You remastered all the other 4. Remastered.
Yeah, and well, one of the things that we learned in the last probably 2 albums is how to do orchestra properly, or better than we were before. So we actually ended up re-scoring pretty much all the albums one more time as well.
All in 12 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
While you were also living your life, recording other bands too, correct?
Myself, yeah.
Oh wow!
And Mel
wow.
and Mel's works on music all the time for her solo stuff, and me and her work together on her solo music as well. And that's, I mean, originally Dave's an original member since the beginning.
OG son.
OG.
Yeah. Just here for the free stuff.
for the nachos.
Yeah, I'm sure for the nachos.
But I met Mel. What was it
20. Oh my God.
2008?
Yeah.
How did you meet?
Funny story. So I walked.
I'm ready
in-
to laugh.
I walked into Hot Topic, and
Whoa, hold up, Joe.
No, he
I
was not
wasn't-
there.
I
He was
wasn't
not there. He was not there.
That's where Joe hangs out.
It's a funny story, Mel. That's how me and Joe met.
Joe in 2008. That was his fucking. That he worked there. He lived.
All the Jenko genes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take all of them.
Yes.
So I walk into Hot Topic, and I noticed there were these cards sitting on a table, and it said "Vocalist Wanted." Again, not Joe. It was somebody who wanted to be in a band and looking for a vocalist who was working with Joe. So he invited me to the studio, and that's where I met Joe. Long story short, that person that invited me fell off of the music industry, and Joe and I noticed that there was a really strong bond over music. So we continued working together, and that's how Melrose was born. And eventually I was invited to be a vocalist for Mechina as well.
Now, did you bring any of your side project stuff or your solo project stuff?
Not with me. I mean, I have some on my phone, but I didn't want to overbear Mechina because this is Mechina,
We
not
could've
Melrose.
played a
What kind of
song or
music
two.
do you do?
Heavy metal.
Good.
Mel, we've got dates in November. We'd love to get you back to talk about your stuff.
Yeah.
In
I know.
You've already took their other friend here from Sombra Oscura is coming on November 12th. November 19th is open.
I'm in.
Awesome.
I will take
Melrose,
I'll
what is your
pencil you
project
in.
called? I have my band lineup here.
My
Mechina's the first
next-
show of the year, though, just so you know you got to come back.
it. My next project, do you mean by like an album or EP?
Whatever your musician name that you're going under. We'll talk.
Oh,
That's
okay.
I'm just penciling you
Got
in now.
you. Melrose.
Just
Melrose.
include
Melrose.
include
that's
me
it.
and Joe for background noise, please.
Yes, they're allowed. They are allowed.
Dave, of course, will be here for the nachos.
Yes,
I'm only here for the
please.
You're-
nachos.
you're
Which,
in-
by the way,
You're in parentheses,
What the
Dave. I
shit?
got you. Don't worry.
thank you.
Well, there's 5 dates left of 2019 for the Metal Experience guest book. So continue. Sorry. Just want to make sure we get you.
No.
So this is Mel.
Yeah, that's me.
That's her.
That's me.
So we've talked to Dave and Joe before of the albums that they've released. What's been your
They've been on
favorite?
here enough.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
want to talk to
We
them.
want to talk to
seriously.
you.
My
and Mecca.
goodness.
Whoa.
Is that it?
Yeah, Joe, we just had you bring her so you can go. What's been your favorite album to work on?
Oh, that's not an answer. I mean, there's no
Well,
answer.
you gotta make one up
Every
now.
album. I love music. There's not a favorite song or favorite album. I just love working with Joe and Dave so much. No matter what it is, it's so joyous to me.
It when you find a with everybody sees the bands and knows the discrepancies between band members and how bands begin, they flourish. I see this in the studio all the time. The optimism goes, the discrepancies start, the miscommunication happens, the ego gets involved, the personality traits start coming to bear, and the band starts fracturing. It happens all the time. It's happened to us. We've been January 1st was our 15th year of being a band, and we've gone through almost 24 members since then. And this is all I want to work with from now on.
Insert crying
Yeah.
sounds.
When you finally find like a realistic and calm, constructive group of individuals that don't have that ego that gets in the way of creating anything, it makes life, because the real work is trying to write a good song. Subjectively is obviously all the technicalities that go with writing a song, the production standpoints, the time you have to take off to get it done. The last thing you need to do is have outside drama show up and interrupt all that, and it happens all the time. So with this combo, it never seems it hasn't been that way for years, and it's worked out. It's funny, once that search ended, the music started becoming better and easier to maintain and easier to create quickly. You know, one of the reasons bands take so long is because they're fighting over whose guitar solo is going to go where.
Right.
Versus, is the guitar solo good?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, Joe, is the guitar solo good?
It's never good. It's never
good.
good. It's never good. Don't
You
it
don't want to
again.
hear my solos. No. But for example, so it's one of the reasons we've been able to streamline it is that there's an understanding between everybody that helps it move along easier and lets us deal with the real problems, which is dealing with 6.5 hours of music all at once. You know, that's a project scale that I wasn't prepared for when we started, but now after you get through it, doing a regular album now is walk in the park in comparison to redoing 6 albums. So, you know, it worked out well. And
So Joe is ready to take on any band's next 6 albums in a 12-month time span.
That's pretty much what I heard.
Well, let's hear one of the tracks that you brought tonight that you wanted to feature. You've got some good ones. So
We got a couple good ones.
Where do you want to begin?
Well, let's start off with the heavy shit. You want to play Planetfall?
The heavier, the better. Planet Fall.
Wow.
Good song.
Great song, you guys.
Planetfall. I got to give a shout out.
Oh yes, immediately.
Yeah, the guitar solo you hear at the end,
Which is good.
which is a good solo.
Yes.
Is Dean Arnold from Vital Remains.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's
Name drop.
We're boys, and
We're
he,
boys.
Yes.
We're boys.
well, as he's touring the world, I'm sitting behind.
Do you have a
computer.
secret handshake?
No, I.
You're not boys.
You and I don't have a secret handshake. No,
We're not at that level yet,
I have
Joe.
a secret handshake with Joe. We're boys.
you just grab my ass.
Yeah, but he grabs everybody's ass. He's
That's
kind of a
true.
whore.
I have a secret handshake with a lot of people.
I like how you looked right in my eyes.
Maintain eye
Tonight we
contact.
will establish a Mechina handshake that only we all will know. No, Greg, it's not. I'm not jerking off a bunch of dudes, okay?
I'll take that.
How's that not
Jesus.
part of it? I don't
So yeah, Planetfall. Go for that one. That one's a beat. That one will work.
All right, here we go. Planet Fall from the epic Minds of Mechina.
I expect that type of language at Denny's, but not here. Well, that's too freaking bad. You hear me?
Because we're throwing it back to Morgan and Luco on the Metal Experience.
Woo-wee. That was a tasty Mechina track. That was Planet Fall. And what album was that off of?
Progenitor.
And that's the 5th album?
Yes, sir.
Track 5. Not track 5. Album 5.
Album 5.
Yeah,
Same difference.
Same difference.
same thing.
Joe, what was the hardest album so far to record?
Joe and Dave. And Melrose.
Yeah, Mel.
Nothing is hard. Don't yell at me.
Like, you mean
Well, I mean,
Like
it
the
could be for
remaster
you
one,
guys
or-
vocally. Well, in general. So let's go back to when you guys were originally
Let's go back to
recording
the beginning.
albums. What
take
what
it back.
album do you think was the most difficult for you?
I can't answer this question.
Was there anything vocally that you found to be challenging?
No.
She's like, no, this is all super easy.
Melrose is a pro.
I mean,
You
she
heard
is.
it
She's
here
the only
first.
professional in the room right now. So, I mean, like, physically, Acheron was pretty bad.
That the original the original recording when we did 2014 for the 2015 release of Acheron, that was the album we overshot our release date by like 8 days. That was a mess.
Yeah.
But it very much was just biting off more than we could chew, and then sticking to our January 1st deadline that we'd like to kind of keep as a tradition. I remember it was right after Christmas. There was that moment where it's like, well, because there's always that hope. We're like, all right, we can, if we just don't go to sleep for like 2 more days, we can get this done. And there was a point where just sat there and was like, it's not going to happen.
How much cocaine did you have to do?
There was none.
Unfortunately, they didn't have
Maybe it
any.
came out on time.
Yeah, right. That album taught us everything we needed to learn to simplify the process for the future.
Because that's sleeping between sessions.
That's true. There was a lot of 30-hour days on that album, and once you go, it's you don't learn anything until you learn it the hard way, and that album was bad, and after that it was probably the easiest album, which was Progenitor. Everything we took from Acheron was we just learned from our mistakes and tried to. And every album you have mistakes. Every album you're gonna learn something.
Right.
But we're not doing that shit again.
Yeah.
We're just not
That's
doing
for
it.
damn sure.
Joe, do you still seclude yourself alone in your recording studio where you won't let anybody else in to finish mixing and mastering? Or do you let these two in to check on your well-being?
No, I mean there is as often as everyone's available. Yeah, I don't. I never tell any of these guys, neither of them, that they can't come in at all. It's
Pants or no pants.
pants or no pants. It's just like there's a point where like if we're talking about like 48 hours of editing and let's say manually gating guitars by hand, like no one wants to sit around and watch someone do that.
I do.
No, yeah.
She's fascinated by it.
I am.
Yeah, it's just those type of things are not particularly interesting. It's more like grunt work. But when we have to create and come up with ideas, everybody's involved as much as we can. I mean we're getting at the age where it's pragmatism.
Now, completely from left field, Joe, how are your goats?
Great, they're furry as fuck right now.
Baby goat.
Whoa, wait.
They're
You
so
have a
furry.
baby goat now?
They're
Oh, they
I got 2 pygmy goats.
Oh.
They're little fluffy dogs.
What are their names?
I just call them goats.
Goats. Yo, goats.
They just look at you and walk away. They don't give a fuck either.
Nice. They're flourishing now. Perfect.
Love it. Let's play more Mechina because these tracks are epic and we want to continue the journey into the box set. So the next track.
Pick whichever one. I just grabbed one from each album.
Okay. Greg just fucked up our whole recording thing because he decided to plug something in so I can't hear shit. What is happening right now?
Greg, unplug that really quick.
Yeah. What the hell is happening?
There we go.
God damn, that was weird.
Gosh dang it.
Stop touching
Damn it,
things,
Greg.
Greg.
Just touch me.
Let's play, because I can't pronounce any of this. Conqueror.
Do synthesizer signal, because that's the one Mel sings on.
Morgan, pronounce that.
Just hits play.
We're going to play what Joe just said.
I don't even know if I said it right, but that's what it looks
It sounded good.
It sounded
sounded
fine.
good.
Synesthesia signal. The
Yeah,
synesthesia.
sure. You could- whatever you want.
Synesthesia signal.
Just keep
Boom.
it.
I got it,
adding
guys.
verbs.
Perfect. Here we go. More Mechina.
And now, back to the metal experience.
Did you say hookers and blow?
No, I said the metal experience.
That's not nearly as good.
Fuck you! Will you wear the blood? No, no. Swallow it up.
All right, we are back. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, Trailer Swift, and a few other voices in the background. If you hear them, I don't know who they are. We just heard another epic Mechina track this evening. It was called the... I'm thinking... Synethia. No, wrong.
Close.
Say it again. Please, help me. Joe.
I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Well, say it how you think you...
Synthesasia?
There we go. The
Signal?
synthesasia signal. You say it
It
better than
sounds
I.
wrong, but
Well, anyway. You made it.
I know what it means.
You named
though.
it. How did you even...
What does it mean?
How did you even name it if you don't know how to say it?
You don't need to.
Yeah. This is America.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So when it came to the writing process for creating the storyline, who was the mastermind for how it went? Or did you guys each individually kind of come up with ideas and then bring them all together for the characters?
We used to storyboard a lot.
We did have a what are those called? A whiteboards,
Yeah, dry erase board.
dry erase board.
Yeah.
It's also called a whiteboard, Dave. It is.
That's
a whiteboard.
offensive.
No. My mom's a teacher, and she calls it sometimes a whiteboard in her classroom. Use the whiteboard.
I have a
gonna be
strongly
fired.
worded letter for that school.
Well, it's white and it's a board. I don't know how more correct you can get it.
Yeah, the story element actually ends up becoming secondary to the entire album process. Usually we try to make sure that the songs, we may have an idea of what the songs are about, but like for example the album we're writing right now, we have a rough idea of what the story's going to be about, but we have songs written, and the idea is make sure the songs are good and everything else will follow. So in terms of the storyline, it's too much to really explain at this point. It's not. It's more or less the fact that it hasn't been written down in a formal sense. So we don't really get too caught up in the story stuff. Although it's like icing on the cake, really, in terms of the process of how to do this in a manner that's won't take 6 years to do. So write songs first, get an idea, vibe it out, start writing lyrics, figure out what you want to write about, connect the dots from previous albums if you want. And I'm simplifying it, but that's a question I can't even really answer.
So lyrically, Mel and Dave, do you guys write together or separately lyrics?
It's a group process.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are one.
That's something you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all pragmatism at this point. What needs to be done before step A? Like, we won't write lyrics until we have a foundation of at least a demo of a song. Mm-hmm. We may have lyrical writings, but we don't. It's rare that a song starts with vocals. I think we're all more musicians first and foremost, and we just try to make it work that way as best we can.
Good answer. Well, I think it's about that time. Do you think it's about that time?
I know it's about that time. Breaker, this is Luco Blaze reaching out to Trailer Swift. We need some trailer talk.
Over.
Lay us down with some more of that sweet news.
You seen my dog? What's going on, guys? It's Trailer.
What do you got for us this week, Trailer? This year. What do you got for us this year,
This year.
All this year's news. Metal Newses. What do you got?
I just got a couple. Tool is coming out. Finally coming out with their next album at the end of this year.
Is that real, or is that just people saying
Wait,
it?
who?
It's real.
Who?
Tool.
Did Tool tell you this? Did you talk to them? Hey, Tool. Have you verified the sources with Tool? The answer is yes. And Charlie will see you at their next show. He'll be in the pit. He'll be starting the pit. All right. So Tool, new album by the end of 2019. Charlie verified the sources. He talked to Maynard, and he confirmed it. Called him on his personal cell phone. Here at the Metal Experience, we know
You can
people.
call me on my cell phone.
Morgan, wait in the car. What else you got for us, Charlie? I mean, trailer.
Rush is officially retired.
Did you confirm that with Getty?
Getty
It's like, Getty, are you guys for real? What was his answer? It's confirmed. It's confirmed. What else? So Rush officially retired. I never got to see them.
I didn't know you were interested.
It's Rush.
It's a fair answer.
What else? Oh, fuck.
You're
hopefully they
dragging
come
this
back.
out, Luco.
Hopefully they come back on a reunion tour so I can see them. What else you got for us, trailer? Don't touch me there.
Rammstein is gonna release 5 music videos from their new album coming out. 5? Yeah, 5 new music videos.
Fuck yeah. Does it say one?
No. Continue. I know where this is going. No. Come on, Charlie. Don't let him distract you. Keep going.
What else you got?
Take no shit.
Everyone's heard of Bad Wolves.
Who?
Bad Wolves.
I haven't heard of Bad Wolves.
What about them?
Tommy Vex, their lead singer, released a video a couple days ago saying that he is homeless.
Yeah, I saw that. He literally
sold
gave
his
up,
apartment and car just to be able to
be a touring band.
Yeah.
So he lives on the tour bus.
Well, yeah, but he, I'm pretty sure he goes home to like his mom's house or something.
All right, lives in the tour bus. All right, well, that's a major life decision.
It is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Avenged Sevenfold was like that for years.
Homeless?
They weren't homeless, Charlie.
A couple of the guys were.
They weren't homeless.
Who did you talk to? What's that guy's name? Stevie One Nut, or what's his name in the band? Their manager. He confirmed with their tour manager. Stevie One Nut.
That's all I got for metal news.
What just happened? Okay, you brought up band.
Get out of here,
Let's
Greg.
just stop. Just stop. 2019.
So
let's go. All right. What did you bring, Charlie?
Name of the band is Ashes of the Forgotten. They're from Dallas,
I already
Texas.
forgot it. All right. And the song?
Last Life.
Last Life.
They also have a lyric video on YouTube.
all right, let's do it.
Oh,
This is Justin.
This is Dustin
Austin's J&D,
of the So-Called Saints.
or so-called sense,
Tell your boys.
or smell your boys.
You're listening to the Metal Experience.
Boom.
What's going on, guys? We just heard Ashes of the Forgotten with Last Life.
Perfecto.
Hanging out with Morgan Danielle, Luco Blaze, Greg.
Yep. That's all you gotta say.
Greg.
Greg Master. And we're here with Mechina for their 5th time. 555. And that's all I got with that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the making of the box set itself. It's like a DVD box. It's pretty sweet. Where did you guys go to get this all put together, all fancy like? That's a question I need an answer for. That was a bunch of dead air.
The disc makers made it, and it was a custom setup. It wasn't, those online places will let you build your own, CD for release.
I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm asking you.
Well, I looked on their website and didn't see anything specific, and just emailed them, and they sent me a blank. I said there were 6 CDs that was going to be in this, and they wanted it to be. At first, they sent me a jewel case. Remember back in the day with like PlayStation?
Yeah.
Where the games that came in multiple CDs.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a jewel case. You'd break those things in 30 seconds.
My Poison Live CD is like that.
Yeah, it's
You own a Poison's live CD?
Mm-hmm.
That's a conversation for another time. Sorry, Joe.
Sure, it is. Okay. Yeah, so they sent a demo piece out, and it was fine. It really just outsourced it to them, and had our art guy Ricky set it up, and rest is history. That was actually the most painless of the whole project, was getting the box set set up. So worked out well.
How many of these are made in the universe?
1,000. There was 300 special edition, like pre-order discounted versions that we did, and we sold out of those 300 in about 3 days. It was pretty awesome.
It was cool.
Damn.
It was very cool.
And so the demand was there, and we got a bulk order just so we would have enough for people that may have missed the pre-order and stuff like that. And yeah.
What was the difference between the pre-order bundles and just the box set?
Well,
what was extra?
All the box sets are numbered and labeled, and the first 300 were discounted. I think it was 10 or 15%, and had a special signature numbered card. But the music inside, the content is the same. We just, to be frank, when we were talking about this box set over the last few years, we were like, maybe like 100 people will buy one.
Yeah.
150 maybe. So when we did that original order of 300, and then they sold pretty much within a half a week, we had to get more. So really the only difference was the discount and like a specialty card. But it's we didn't want to have we didn't want I didn't want to make 2 separate orders for 2 different versions of something that was already a big investment on our part. We have no record label or any of that shit, so we have to upfront all this.
Mm-hmm.
And the pre-sales help begin. It's just pre-sales are just what like Patreon is to a lot of people.
Right.
So we were kind of caught off guard, and had made the order larger, and that's it. That's about it.
I'm actually really surprised that you were surprised that you didn't think that you were going to get more than 100 pre-orders. Because everything that I remember you telling us from when you've come on before is that your demand when your albums come out has always left you sold out and wanting more, and you have these reaches to countries that we've never even heard of when your albums come out. So you really didn't think that you would?
Well, Dave and I are very much worst case scenario type guys. We prepare for the worst, and I don't particularly like sitting on a bunch of merch, in this day and age, it's hard to tell whether people are going to want to have it digitally or they're going to want a hard copy, and so the going into it is like, well, out of convenience, I'm going to assume people are going to want the digital version.
Now,
but that wasn't so much the case.
I was going to ask, how many do you have left of these?
We've gotten rid of, I think, about 550 of them out of 1,000.
Okay, still a good amount to go. So where can everybody get those online?
When was this officially released?
Yes, when was the box set released?
May of, what was it?
18.
Early May of 2018.
Okay.
So you still have 450 of these.
That's moving still. That's pretty awesome.
Well, I mean, when you every band knows this when they go into the process of, like, well, they should know this when you go into ordering CDs. You know, you get a few hundred, it's going to cost you a certain amount per unit. Yeah. If you can cough up a little bit extra, you can almost get twice as much of product for literally a fraction of the original. Like, if you did 500 CDs, it's going to cost you this much. If you sell out of those, you got to pay that same amount for 500. Or you could just get 1,000 and save yourself a ton of money. And you see what I mean by that? So that we ended up kind of calculating. It's like, listen, we'll just do 1,000, and then we have enough to sell for a while in case, and once, maybe one or two will be sold a week, maybe. It's all sometimes, like, in the holidays, people will have a little bit extra money, so they'll buy some cool shit online, and you see a spike in sales, and then it dies off. It's so hard to predict. That's the uncertainty of being in a band and trying to sell merch, is who the fuck knows who's gonna buy what nowadays. So, but I'm not complaining. I'm crazy humble with everybody, with all the fan support. I mean, we've sold more music in Germany and England than we sold in America. I don't know why, but that is what it is.
Them German and them English love that Mechina.
I guess so. So it's like, and that's not something you could just sit down and think that you could pan out with a pen and paper. You just got to do it and see what happens. And at the end of the day, it all goes back to trying to make the best product you can, and hopefully it can speak for itself. And then the best you can do from there is hope. Being an independent band is, that's the way. There's no record label that could ask what they could offer that I probably wouldn't even accept. They're not taking any of this, so I'm gonna probably stay independent for the rest of its life. And I don't think anyone I don't want to speak for anyone else, but it's like there's nothing a record label could offer that I'm interested in.
Boom.
Except stress.
Yeah.
We do enough of that on our own.
Yeah.
What was the craziest country this time that you sent the box set to that you weren't expecting, that you can remember?
I don't know. I think we hit like 70 or 80 different countries with this box set. you know, of course, like if one person buy, you know, it. I don't know.
Alabama.
There's some Balkan countries that have some weird export laws that you had to go around. Let's just say it wasn't as easy as sending something to France. It's one of those. I don't want to get it mixed up. I'm an American. I don't know my geography very well. So, but yeah, I mean, it's most of Europe's into it, and
Alabama.
Sure. Yeah, maybe a few. Dave, I do all the post office shit, and it's just like I don't want to pawn that off on anybody. So it's all a blur to me. I just say what PayPal's. I just print the label, put it on the box, see what they ordered, and ship it off. I don't really keep track. You know, it's kind of beyond me at this point.
All right. Well, let's do another Mechina track. What's the next track you guys want to play for us tonight?
I don't know what they have.
Yeah,
just whatever. Just pick a song.
Zodicus.
Do it. Done.
Sweet. You could do
Zodicus.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Zodicus.
It's a song.
Here's Zodicus by Mechina. It is decided.
This is Gup.
This is Trent.
This is Tim. And we're Heavy! And you are listening to the Metal Experience radio show, Super Show Extravaganza, live on what the fuck network? Ah, fuck. Can you edit that?
We're back. I am Morgan Danielle once again with Luco Blaze, Trailer Swift, getting all swifty up in here. And we are here back with Mechina. And that was another awesome track called... Damn it. I had it. I said it before. Zoticus. Is that a creature?
Sounds like one.
It sounds like one. Or is it a robot machine crazy
It
thing?
sounds like one like that too. What does Zoticus mean?
Could be a crackhead.
What is it?
I think Zoticus means to blossom. That might be getting that mixed up. Is that what it means? Oh,
Don't listen to Greg.
I thought you guys look like you were
He's like a
Googling.
parrot. He'll repeat
Doing some
anything
cool
you
stuff over
say.
there.
It's okay. We go through gift battles, and I just don't know when to stop, and then it gets weird.
It always gets weird.
It always gets weird. I'm a good gifter, though.
She's not.
Yes, I
She
am.
thinks she is.
I laugh a lot at my gifts. I'm creative. Try it. Try me. It'll work.
Try me.
Okay, so the next album is in the works. I know I've heard Joe say this. So, can you give us any details?
No.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Nice. Nicely done, Mel.
Nicely done.
Yes.
Where are you in the writing process?
No.
We've really taken about a good month and a half off recently. Like we spent all summer, like once the box set was done, we started writing, and we got about 60 minutes of orchestra tracks figured out, and now we're in the process of getting the metal elements put into it. But there came a point where there needed to be a break, so mostly over December we kind of just chilled out and didn't really want to put any more time into it right now. It needed a break, so we're thinking probably next few weeks we'll probably get the ball rolling again. I mean, Dave and I haven't worked in the studio together in what?
Probably about 2 months.
2 months, and we're just kind of adjusting with everything, and it was good. I mean, Dave's a daddy now.
Congratulations, Dave!
Thanks.
When did you have your child?
November.
November. Boy or girl?
It's a boy.
And what is his name?
Barrett.
Barrett. That's awesome. Congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats, brah.
So you're going to have guest vocals from Barrett on the record?
Sure, why not?
Starting him when he's young.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's just we're taking it with the box set coming out in May. We took about a month and a half off, and then we just kind of started back up, and it just didn't line up to be another January 1st release, and that's fine with us. It's more or less it's time to put our heads down and keep it simple in the sense of the procedure, because the procedure is what kills us. But the outside of that, writing songs is not hard. It's the technicalities behind it. So we're taking it a little bit easier in the sense of let's be pragmatic with what we're going to be doing with the recording. We're doing it in steps, and it's easier. There's no rush I think a lot of it came down to one of the reasons we've been able to capture an audience relatively quickly is unrelenting releases, and that's that
unrelenting.
Well, I mean, it's you spend 6 to 8 months on an album, you take a month off and you start again, and you do that for 5 years. You start to your memory shuts off. You have to sit and think, but I don't remember writing 80% of my guitar parts. I couldn't play 80% of the guitar parts on any of the albums because I look at a guitar as a tool. I'm not a guitar player. I'm more of the guitar is there, and when the guitars need to be played, I pick it up and we try it out, and I think Mechina is more of a group of producers than it is a band at this point, and it's great because we can all we're not dictated by our role, so the procedure gets rough, but we've softened we like to do it in sections now, so hopefully. So far, so good with the next album. How do we say that new name? We always have stupid fucking names for our shit. Telesterion is the name of it, yeah. And
what does that even mean?
Space.
Okay. It's Greek for place of initiation, and that's.
Nice.
Oh, is that the cover?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just finished the cover, and
So who did the artwork for the cover?
Ricky Lewis. He's the guy who's been doing
The mastermind behind the Mechina artwork, obviously.
Oh,
Get with it.
His neck bearding over. He's like, excuse me. Yeah, it's Ricky's been getting a lot of work from us, but he's integral to because I'm not very good at Photoshop, and I need some helps. But he's the guy for it. So yeah, it's coming along. It's backed up a few months over just being, like I said, pragmatic about being realistic. Because if we rush it, we're in a position now that if we rush anything, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot. It's going to look bad. We always hear about those bands where it's like, yeah, everybody's subjective, but it's, man, they really peaked at that album and then they went downhill. You hear that all the fucking time. And I don't know, every band's situation's different, so I'm pretty empathetic about it, but at this stage, we got a good thing going, and as long as we keep our head on our shoulders, we'll be able to keep it going.
Is this the year that the Metal Experience gets to get a sneak preview and join you in the studio for a day and see what you do behind the scenes?
No.
Dave's like the bodyguard guy. He's just quiet. He's like, no, you cannot do that.
Not.
You are not allowed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to play with goats.
I would. I mean, I can get you. I can get you a single when it's ready.
But I want to watch the masterminds
No,
at
you
work.
really don't.
You really don't.
You really don't.
It's like Dave. He's like, I've been there. It's
Yeah,
it's cool for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you're just sitting there. But no, it's yeah, it's I don't know. It's a good time.
It's a good time, but I'm not invited.
Right,
I get
right,
it. Okay.
Yeah. It's not just you who's not invited. Most people aren't invited.
It's not you, it's us.
It's not you, it's us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's play one more track before it's time to talk to Luco and whatever else he's doing over there with Greg. So the next
Neat
Mechina
stuff.
track is
Do Empyrean.
Empyrean.
This is Jeff. This is Linus. We're in the band Nephilim, and you're listening to the Metal Experience.
Woo! We just heard some more Mechina. What was the name of that song?
Nailed it.
Empyrean.
Empyrean by Mechina.
All right. Thank you, Greg. And I'm Morgan Danielle with Trailer Swift. And we're talking more with Mechina. So, Joe wants me to talk more to Dave and Melrose because Joe doesn't like to talk. And my questions.
Yeah, like you're about to learn, neither do we.
What's your favorite track that you have released?
Mel.
I'm thinking.
What's the song that got the 2 million?
Cryo Shock.
Cryo Shock?
She's like, but I hate that song.
No, I love That's a really, really good song.
We have that to play tonight, too.
Awesome.
That could be the next Mechanus track in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Cryo Shock.
I would have to say, Cryo Shock or The Horizon Effect.
The Horizon Effect?
Those two are going to be my top two.
Dave?
I don't know. Don't look at me. God.
Everyone look at Dave.
Yes, yeah, make it awkward.
Love this dead air.
Yeah, isn't this great? You can edit this out. Say it live. I guess The World We Lost is probably.
That's a good one.
I mean.
That is a real. When you could pull off a 17-minute long track and make it work.
Yeah.
That's a good. I agree. I love that track.
When you make a 17-minute long track, okay, I want to know, how do you know when to end it? How do you know to continue that song and not cut it into a song going into another two more tracks?
Going?
Like how do you just continue it into one song?
When you hate hearing a part for another time.
That's actually a good point.
Right, so it's like if you're listening through it, it's like, okay, I really dig that verse, but now we've done it a couple different times, that same rhythm section or whatever. Okay, I don't want to hear that anymore. I wouldn't include it.
I only want to hear it 7 times.
Yes,
in this
exactly.
song, but not 8.
No, how dare you?
Makes
The
sense.
longest track you guys have recorded, 17 minutes?
Or is there a longer track?
No, there's a whole sound design intro that's like 3.5 minutes long. So, musically it's about 15 minutes. But, I don't know. That was probably the most amount of lyrics we've ever written for a single song. That was the most difficult part was the lyrics and writing. Parts would repeat, but if you repeat parts too often, obviously it becomes redundant. But if you start, in terms of lyrical content, we had to write paragraphs of lyrics for a song that scale to make it at least interesting, because we all know the A B C B structure of a song, which is a pop song structure, and choruses are usually the same thing 90% of the time. If anyone's got a hooky ass chorus, they're going to copy and paste it for every chorus, and there comes a point where copy and pasting becomes redundant as hell. So you've got to add texture and change the lyrics and change how you do lyrics and play variations of parts that came before without repeating it, but similar enough to be memorable. It's a weird. There's no answer to that, because that's the weird thing about writing songs. I hate to say it, but it is a quote unquote art, and there's no technical rules. Although once you get that's the hardest thing about a musician is finding their style and finding their way of going about it, because then when you run into that wall, you can stop and know, like, okay, I've been here before, go that way, or try something else and experiment. I'm a big fan of just throwing I call it the who's that shitty ass painter who just throws shit? Pollock? Yeah, Pollock. Yeah. The Pollock process, where it's you just
throw up
what's wrong with splatter paint?
Nothing.
You're stupid, Greg.
Subjectively, nothing.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's nice to just start a song and just see what happens.
Do that again.
Yeah, you know what I mean. No, but just it's nice to, like, because there's so many times you're sitting there telling yourself you can't. I'm not about to get motivational on you, but
please,
as an artist, you sit there and say, well, like, I've done that before, fuck that, and then you just sit there like, ugh, and then you just write the same shit. Sometimes just go left turn. When me and Mel are trying to find harmonies on vocal parts, where I don't even have lyrics for, just go. I tell her all the time, just go in the booth and I don't know what to do. Just go. Sing.
Figure it out, Mel. Just fucking do it.
Just start trying stuff out, and all of a sudden you'll be listening back and be like, yes, no, and then all of a sudden something goes boop, and you're like, oh, wait a second. And then you take that, and then you build off of that. And sometimes you hit another wall, and then you backtrack it, and you go another direction. If you think you're going to sit down and write a song, I don't know music theory at all. I can't. I can play guitar.
Mel confirms.
Hold on, wait. You really don't know music theory?
I know like what notes are on a piano, but I can't read music at all.
Joe,
you don't need to read music to make music.
Yeah,
it's what sounds good.
That just surprises
you know?
me because your guys' musical brains are just off the charts. So that's
maybe
just
that has
surprising.
maybe that has something to do with
Joe,
it. You know,
maybe.
Well, here's the thing.
He's on a.
Well, he's not
he's
getting
on
bogged down in
nother
theory.
level.
Yeah,
you know.
and the technicality
level.
Or that.
Well, there was a point in 2012, 2013 when we were playing our last shows where we were done, especially Dave and I, we were just done playing committee decisions. This is no longer up for the band. We're not going to sit around in a round table of 4 to 5 guys and try to play politics. It's like, no, we're just gonna write what we want to write, and ironically enough, the best stuff we've done happened after we chose that path. Mm-hmm. We just did what we did. We did what we wanted to do and didn't have to leave it up to others.
And we still feel fortunate that we got to see you play once. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Still goes down is one of the best performances that I've seen of Mechina.
Yeah, I mean, we always joke about, well, we don't actually joke at all about playing live.
Oh, it's not a joke. It's very real.
It's very real. The amount of time we would require to just set aside enough time for our lives to play live. Right now,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
You're too technical.
Well, the downtime of we would need 6 to 8 months to get prepared to even play.
You need a Devin Townsend performance stage.
I guess what? I don't have Devin Townsend. I don't have Devin Townsend's budget.
I know.
So you know what? It doesn't work like that. And the fact of the matter is, it's like we're making do with what we have, and so far, I'm proud of everyone involved, and it's great, and it could be a lot worse. I mean, I'm in the studio all the time, and I see the bands, I see the politics, I see the discrepancies happening. It's a mess, and I mean, Luco, you're in a band still, right?
Yeah.
See?
There it is.
Right.
Exactly my point.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard shit to do, and it's hard to keep everyone together. And you know, Dave and I are we're best friends. We've known each other since high school.
Aww.
But the fact of the matter is, we wouldn't like if we were just doing this for musical purposes, we'd probably be at each other's throats all the time. But we'll sit around the studio and talk shit for literally half the session. And
What does Mel do?
same thing.
I just cry in the corner.
Only when she's allowed in.
There's certain times
Yes.
a woman must enter the room. Just kidding.
Mel's just the gleaming optimism of the project. She just shows up like, "Hey everyone," we're like, "Oh, she's so happy."
Great. Mel, please leave.
Too happy.
No, it's a good setup for
Good.
what we got.
Well, let's pause on that for a second. Let's take it to Luco.
Oh man.
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found!
Only on the Metal Experience.
Okay, hey, look what I found. Brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recording. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week we are featuring our third and last of our 3 Reverb Nation winners from our last 2018 contest that we held. Congrats to Cutthroat Conspiracy from Fort Worth.
Why are you
Texas.
slurring your words all of a sudden?
He's so excited. They just won something. Cutthroat Conspiracy.
He just started
We need to
biting
edit
his
this shit
tongue.
out. Just
Cutthroat Conspiracy from Fort Worth, Texas. We got a twofer for you. The Summit and Decadence. Let's do it.
Callous and broken, we look for the strength to carry on. It's ourselves, do we find
This is our time of life, fighting to stay alive. Reclaim what's mine, a reason to survive. This one's my brain, my soul not saved. The words I speak come through until the grave. This one's my brain, my soul not saved. The words I speak come through until very easy, let us just walk.
Well, hi there. Hello. We know you're enjoying your current dose of metal with the people at the Metal Experience. What are their names, Brian?
Hey, Morgan and Luco, how you doing?
Well, howdy. Should you get through with your dosage with them and find yourself still wanting metal, come see us at the Epitome of Stupidity podcast. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and other places, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's a cool show, I must say.
Until then, back to these guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. That was Cutthroat Conspiracy from Fort Worth, Texas. We had a twofer. That was Summit and Decadence. Check them out on the Facebooks. Give them a like. That was brought to you by Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Whew. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. And we are still rocking out here with Mechina in the back of Fitz's Spare Keys. Greg Master. Hey, Greg. Morgan Daniel. We got Trailer Swift over here, too. So, thanks. Morgan, take it away.
Settle down, children. All right. So, my next question that I was going to ask Mel Rose, because we've had Dave and Joe on before, was what were your influences growing up and to become a metal artist? What were some of the bands that transitioned you into that style?
I would definitely have to say Paramore is not a heavy metal band, but Hayley Williams was my first inspiration. Her old stuff, not the new. Not new Paramore.
Definitely not the new stuff.
Old Paramore.
Crush, Crush, Crush.
Absolutely.
Yes. Misery Business.
Oh, yes.
Love it.
All of that.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely inspired me, and to this day still does. Honestly, and after that, what got me really into metal? That's a really good question.
Honest answers. Real bands.
What do you mean, as opposed to fake bands?
No, I'm just saying.
I've really just
We're
always...
like VH1 Behind the Music. I'm trying to get the Behind the Music of Mechina. Come on.
I've really just always been... My dad was always into heavy rock, so, I listened to like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, bands like that growing up, and as time goes on, that progresses into different types of music, and I guess I just kind of fell into it. My favorite metal band now, minus the bands I'm in, would definitely have to... my favorite metal band now would be Periphery, hands down. Ooh. I also really love Animals as Leaders. Who else?
Gent stuff.
Yes, heavy gent stuff. And Born of Osiris. Who else do I listen to? I'm all over the place, honestly. Seven Dust, Avenged Sevenfold. Who else? Bands like that.
Good choices. Good choices. And did you grow up singing? Was this your first band?
Oh, no. Right when I came out of my mom, I was singing. I could sing before I could speak words, honestly. I mean, I can't remember a time I wasn't singing.
And then your first band that you were ever in, what was it called?
The first band I was ever in, oh my God, it was called Hexdecimal.
Hexdecimal?
This was the band I was in when I went into Hot Topic, grabbed that card.
That guy works at Walgreens, I think. No, like the one out by me. He works at Walgreens at like the photo department. He's really killing it.
Yeah.
Your ex-band member? Hexdecimal?
Hex. It was either Hexdecimal or Hexadecimal. I can't remember.
It
doesn't matter.
Right, you're better for not being there.
I am very much better off. Yeah, that was. I mean, it was. We made a single which I have somewhere. I'm not pulling it out, but it was a good start, and it was a very good learning experience. And I'm glad that all of it happened because I wouldn't be here today if I didn't go through the rough times and things like that.
Good answer. Well, I think now we should hear Cryroshock, since you said that was your favorite track that Mechina wrote that you guys have. So you brought that tonight. Let's hear more Mechina, right? Meow.
Hey, this is Eric from the Sons of Rot, and you're listening to the Metal Experience.
Hey yo, it's Troy Adams from the podcast Wrestling Society. Every single Wrestling Wednesday, we bring you brand new episodes where we review the best and worst of professional wrestling eras of the past, as well as the biggest current events in professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Search for us on YouTube, where we have hilarious WWE Network watch-alongs, reviews of terrible shows, and other great content. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodRest Society, and we're available on all podcast platforms. Come join the Society.
Woo! That was Cryo Shock by Mechina. Which album was that off of?
Progenitor.
Progenitor.
Love it. Love it. What's your favorite Mechina album? Each one of you. Which one did you guys like the most?
Again, I can't answer that question. I
What's
love
your
them.
least favorite Mechina album?
Not also.
All of them.
There's no.
All of them.
So no one's going to answer that because
front to back, mine would be
Embrace the Breed.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
Wait, what is this one?
2000.
I don't have this one.
Nobody
you don't.
should.
No, you don't.
No, that's an old EP, or that was one of our old demos from like 2006.
It's not
2005.
before, yeah.
Morgan
we were in
doesn't
high
have
school.
it.
I don't have it. Where
Good.
can I get a copy of this
Can't.
album?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can. You gotta.
I'm gonna say front to back Xenon's my favorite.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's
That's a good one. Embers is pretty good too.
Embers is
There's
I don't
so
know.
many I like that it's that difficult.
I think the problem is when you ask Mel this question, she's been part of this, but it became like solidified over the last like year or two. So when you ask her like, what's your favorite album? It's like, well, there's like 5-6 albums that she wasn't around for, so it's kind of hard to tell. Sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're
it's
good.
true. It's because the first song you did was Cepheus, and you just did backing tracks on that. And
Yeah,
that
it was a slowly easing into the. We're gonna test.
There
this
was
out.
it was like a guest vocal.
Yeah.
And then it was like, fuck it, just sing in Mechina. Like it wasn't even it didn't need to get any more complicated than that. Like So I would say Xenon.
Okay, I'll say Embers then.
All right, fair enough.
That's fine. Yeah.
She says all of them,
Yeah.
I guess.
all of the things.
Good answer. So obviously no shows coming up for Mechina because you're a showless band. You like everything to be visual, online, in your face, and behind the scenes. So what is everywhere online that people can find you platform-wise and merch that you have available?
We just redid the website.
We did redo the website. Mechinamusic.com is the website. And Bandcamp, if you just search Mechina on Bandcamp, that's where, if you want to get it digitally, that's the best place to do it. iTunes, of course. Just Google Mechina, you'll find whatever you need. We don't overcomplicate it. So if it's not on Bandcamp, if it's not on mechinamusic.com, if it's not on Amazon and iTunes, it's probably bootlegged. So stick with the Bandcamp. Bandcamp's good.
That way you can get any file.
That's true. You can get it at Wave versus MP3 and shit.
Yep.
There's a lot of audio nerds out there that need it lossless, which I appreciate.
And you still have a few of the box sets left that you are selling, so make sure to get on that.
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
Of course.
So you better buy them quick.
That's awesome, though. The box set was a great idea, and I definitely think that you guys will sell out of all of them because you guys have awesome merch ideas. I mean, you were the first band that ever came out with glass USBs.
Wait, what?
Hey, you know what's funny? You say that. There's a few things there's a few things coming out in the next few months before our
Whoa. Wait, what?
next album. We're gonna be doing a new T-shirt, T-shirt merch. Yes. We're going to actually release the album Xenon on Digipack. Remember, we never made it. That album went straight to digital, never went to print. We're gonna re-release it with the original artwork, with the original music, the non-compendium music, and then there's probably going to be some USBs in our future too.
Yes.
But that's
good, because I dropped mine and it broke. I cried. I am not kidding.
Oh my God.
That's
so fired. She's
China.
so fired. Yeah,
China. Chinese made USBs.
China.
That's terrible. But that's awesome.
Yeah,
the shirts that you guys made are really comfortable already. I love that shirt.
Yeah, we're gonna be hopefully in the next 3-4 months we'll have more merch. We do merch, and we may do 1 or 2 things of merch a year, just because, like I said before, I don't like sitting on merch. I don't like having boxes of shit sitting around. But it seems that we'll have some stuff coming up.
Nice.
Might as well give them something if we're not playing live,
Yeah.
Something to salivate over.
Mm.
I guess.
Add to your Mechina collection.
Mechina.
Well, some news before we wrap up the night with our last Mechina track of the evening. Our friends in Contra announced that their guitarist of 3 years, Yuli, stepped down from the band to focus on Rise Revolt Clothing, who is our screen printer for our shirts. And with that, they have announced a new guitarist, Alex Cromer, into the band. So awesome that they've already found a replacement. They are playing a show with him on March 20th at a venue that they've announced on their Facebook page. So check that out, and go check out Rise Revolt Clothing. Yuli does awesome work and does graphic design as well, so he can create a logo for your shirt. And he does what do you call it? What are the tablecloths now for your merch tables? Orinoco announced that their
Foreign
bass
taco.
player Melissa has left the band. Her last show was last month, and their new bass player is Ricky Polglagen. So welcome, Ricky, to Orinoco.
Welcome to Foreign Taco.
He's playing a show with them actually this coming weekend, January 20th. They're playing the Looney Bin with their slogan, "Best Bands, Shittiest Place." So Orinoco, second season, and Another Lost Year are playing in the Looney Bin this Saturday. It's $10. Our very own writer, Elijah, is playing with his band Dismalimerance. Dismalimerance. I can't fucking say it. I'm sorry, Elijah.
It's fucking metal bands.
Anyway, they are playing with Arsis, Septic Flesh, and Insiferum at the Forge January 12th. You can buy tickets off the band still. That's this coming weekend. Also, check out Beneath the Hollows Nihilist drum playthrough. Matt DeGroot was featured in Sick Drummer magazine for that awesome playthrough. And they are going to be playing January 27th at the Blue Moose Tap House in Iowa City. Check that out. Our writer Cole did an awesome write-up that we posted on the Metal Experience website under Reviews from the Crypt for Fool's Brews album, their EP that released recently for New Machine. So you can go check that out. And Fool's Brew is going to be on with us in just a couple weeks.
Fool's Brew.
Our writer, John McKenna, has a brand new teaser track out for his band Territory. Resurrect the Earth is the track. It's up on YouTube. New music coming soon, so make sure to follow Territory on Facebook. David Wilkerson, we met from doing a Dying Ultimatum. He goes by the Professor Heretic now. He's working on new music, posted a guitar video that he is working on, and is hoping to have a version with lyrics soon. But if you want an instrumental version, he would love to send it to you, and you could write your own lyrics, and he'll repost it. How cool is that?
Hell yeah, that's cool
so
as shit.
awesome. I also have that January 19th at
Yes?
where is this at? Bottom Lounge.
Okay.
A friend of El Famous, a good friend in the scene for a lot of people.
Who?
Zemi Marie needs help to help funeral costs for her mother and sister who suddenly passed away last week. You sound like a dick, don't you? It's a benefit event for the Ferguson and Shahid family. El Famous, Speaking with Ghosts, Contra, Tanzan, Capital Vices, Qualia, and
Qualia.
Color Me Amused are all going to be playing at Bottom Lounge, and it's a $10 donation. You want to apologize?
Sorry.
Yeah. Portals announced that they're shooting a music video next week, and there is new merch and new
Sexy.
music coming in spring. What?
Portals.
Check that shit out. Walk Among Us is playing Subterranean the day before the Misfits show. April 27th is Misfits. April 26th, you can catch Walk Among Us playing at the Subterranean. So mark that in your calendar now. And Active Destruction just announced that they are going to be playing with... What is this band? It's Three Tremors, which is featuring Tim Ripper Owens. And they're going to be playing at the Forge in Joliet with Scars of Armageddon, Backlash, and Sacred Dawn. So you can buy tickets off of them for that. Next week on our show, we are going to be welcoming, for their second time, Walk Among Us.
Heyo.
The ultimate piano Misfits tribute band.
The only.
The only Misfits piano tribute band ever. So that's going to be awesome. You can join us, Fits of Spirit Keys, in Uptown Elmhurst, 8 p.m. till about 11-ish. You know, whenever we get done talking, hanging out.
11.
Oh,
You know,
11.
talking it up.
11.
Lots of cool shows coming up this year for 2019. We are almost booked through the end of November with awesome guests. Everything that we have coming up is pretty much up to date on our Facebook page with the event pages for you to keep up with our upcoming guests. Website redesign, hopefully coming soon for the Metal Experience, because we have a
Really?
lot of content.
It's the phone traffic.
It's
you
the phone
know,
traffic.
It's all phone
And we need a
traffic.
new design because our website...
The website's good. Don't bash the website. You wish you could make a website like that.
Yeah,
Fuck out
it's
of here
okay.
with your
I'm
noob
working
talk.
on it. Anyway, so
that
yeah,
code
this is the
and
Metal
shit.
Experience. Thanks so much again for Mechina for coming back out and entertaining us.
Thank you.
It's always
Thank
an
you.
honor. And thanks for the box set, guys. This is
And
is
the
a
coffee.
This is a real honor.
Oh,
And
yeah, talk about that
yeah,
coffee.
This coffee that Dave brought you.
Tell us about it.
Upriser coffee. Angel's cut. And it smells like I want it in and around my mouth hole. It contains no alcohol, unfortunately, but it was aged in whiskey barrels, I've been told. So
It smells good.
excited to long arm it in my kitchen tomorrow morning.
Long arm.
Good.
That's a terrible decision because it's usually hot.
You know, long arm hot beverages?
No, because it would burn your
Well,
skin.
you don't. I do.
I don't even know what long arm is. What is that?
When you drink a beverage from at least 3 feet away from your face.
And you get it all over yourself.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, you tell
Why
him
would you
that.
do that with coffee? Because you're
Why not?
Luco Colombo. That's why you would do it.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up the night with one last Mechina track.
Hell yeah.
What is this track called?
Hell
And what
yeah.
album is this off of?
This is Acheron, right?
No, no, it's not. Yeah.
Hyperion Threnody, is that the one?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's Acheron.
Okay. I thought you were telling me that Akron was the track. I was like, no.
you got
Where?
it.
I don't.
You're doing good.
Okay. So, the last track of the night. And we'll see you next week, January 15th, with Walk Among Us. Thank you, guys, and good night.